Hey everyone, Nathan here. Today I want to talk about how to play your pocket aces versus a complete maniac. This is something that people often ask me about, is how do you play your pocket aces, your pocket rockets versus a crazy wild player who can have anything. You're constantly guessing, what do they have? Is my hand any good? Are they going to bad beat me? So I'm going to cover that in today's video. I'm going to walk you through a hand here step by step for how to play your pocket aces versus these wild, unpredictable players. Let's jump right into it. All right, so as you guys can see here, we have pocket aces. We are in middle position 1. And we're playing a $1, $2 blind cash game, and it is 8-handed, so almost 4-ring. Okay, so let's jump right into the action here. It folds to us. Now, I don't really need to tell you guys what to do. You already know pocket aces. I hope you know. You should definitely always be raising here. Guys, we don't ever want to be limping into the pot. Any hand that we're playing when we're the first person in the pot, you always want to be coming in for a raise. Definitely you want to be doing that with the best hand ever created, pocket aces, so that's exactly what we do. Make it 3 times the big blind, pretty standard in these types of games today. Okay, so it folds to the small blind. Seat number 5 is just one of these regular kind of opponents. He's one of these tight, kind of passive players that you're going to see a lot at these stakes. And he's not going to be our main opponent in this hand, so I'm not going to say too much more about him. Seat 6 makes the call as well, and he is the wild maniac that you guys clicked on this video to see. So this guy is playing a 59-43-3. That's VPIP, PFR, and aggression factor. Now, those are HUD stats. If you guys play online poker, you'll know what these mean. It basically refers to the percentage of hands they play, percentage of hands they raise, and their overall aggression factor. You want to know how to get these numbers on your online poker table screen. I'll have links to everything in the description below. Basically, when I see somebody who with stats like that, it's not even a question. That is 100% a maniac fish. It can't be anything else. So basically, this guy is playing 59% of his hands. You know, he can have damn near anything here. I mean, he could have King 6 offsuit. He could have Queen Jack suited. He could have 10 deuce suited. He could have 8-5 offsuit. I mean, literally, he can have, well, 59% of all hands dealt to him. So an incredibly wide range. We don't know what he's going to have. Wild, unpredictable player. He also is fairly aggressive given these numbers as well. His preflop raise percentage, his aggression factor. So we're going to factor all of this in as we go through this hand. Also remember, he has 50 big blinds to start the hand. That's going to change our complexion of the hand considerably. It's going to make it much more difficult for us to get away with pocket aces with the best hands possible going into the flop. Let's go into that flop. You guys want to see it? It is 9-7 deuce with 2 clubs. We do not have a club in our hand. However, this is a pretty good flop for pocket aces. Honestly, there's not really too many bad flops for pocket aces. You have the best hand because, of course, you have pocket aces. So anyways, let's see what our 2 opponents decide to do. Seat 5 does check, and seat 6, who is the maniac, he comes in for a near pot size bet of $17.10 into $18. So let's already do some hand reading and talk about this here. I've talked about this in previous videos before in some of my poker books as well. When fish, recreational players like this come in for the big pot size bet, especially when they're leading into you, that is almost always one of these middle strength hands. It's not complete crap, but it's not the nuts. So it's not 10-3 of diamonds for total crap, but it's not pocket kings, or it's not like top set with pocket 9s. It's one of these middle strength hands, maybe a top pair hand, maybe pocket 10s, maybe a flush draw, something of this sort that's like a decent hand, but it's not the nuts. In my experience, playing over 15 years online poker, millions and millions of hands against these kind of players, when they blast into you, a recreational player, remember I'm talking about here, when they blast into you for a pot size bet on the flop here, this is almost always, you can go take it straight to the bank. It's one of these sort of decent, reasonably good hands, but of course we have pocket aces, so we're ahead of all those. So what should we be doing against this range here? Well, I hope you guys can kind of see the logic of what we're doing here. We don't want to raise in a spot like this. He has a pretty good hand, but we don't want to give him any reason to get away, especially on the odd chance that he is on some sort of a bluffy hand. So we want to do exactly what we're going to do here, which is just make the call And what this allows him to do is just continue bluffing away. You might have heard the classic saying, give them the rope to hang themselves. There's no reason to raise a Maniac in a spot like this. This is a perfect spot to just flat call on the flop when they blast it into you for a pot size bet. Now, it would be different if he only bet $6 here. If he had to bet just 30% of the pot, I'm definitely going to be raising to build a pot here. The crucial point I want you guys to understand here is when the Maniac is blasting into you for full pot, your best play with a big nut hand like this is to just make the call. The other thing is we don't want to raise here because seat 5 is still left to act. And this is a huge, huge mistake that a lot of people make, is forgetting that there's another player in the hand. It is possible that seat 5 flopped a set here. Remember, we said this is a tight passive regular. This is him flatting us pre-flop with a hand like pocket 2s, pocket 7s, or pocket 9s is extremely reasonable in this situation. And if we're to make it, say, you know, $50 to go here and he shoves all in, we've just wasted a large amount of big blinds and money ultimately, because we could just call here and we're going to get our answer from players like this. Remember that these tight passive players, especially when they're out of position like this in the small blind, they play their hand face up. Basically, he's going to fold his hand unless he has the nuts. Even if he's got the, you know, pocket 6s here, maybe an 8-7 or something, often they'll still fold that. Basically, these kind of players play their hand face up, so there's absolutely no need to raise on the flop here. We're going to get our answer right now if this player has a hand or not. He doesn't. He gets out of the way, so let's go to the turn. So the turn comes with another 7, which is actually a great card for us because it doesn't fill in any straight draws. It's not a club, so it doesn't make the flush. If he had 9 deuce, it now counterfeits that hand. All in all, when you've got the big overpair in poker and the middle card on the flop pairs on the turn, or the bottom card as well, this is always a great situation for you. It's just going to improve your equity on the odd chance, like I said, that we were behind on the flop to a 9 deuce or something like that. So let's see what seat 6 decides to do. He decides to basically smash the pot button again, and now it's just an easy game because he's only got 20 bucks left. So all you need to do is just click it back, and of course, in this spot, because he's not ever going to be folding with such a small amount behind. What I want you guys to understand here is this is the best way to play against a poker maniac, especially when you have your pocket aces, is just give them the rope to hang themselves like this. Because what does a maniac love to do? He loves to smash the pot button and barrel into you and pretend he's so big and strong. So this is the perfect spot to lay your trap, let him shove all his money in with whatever the heck he's gonna have. Well, let's find out now. He does, of course, make the call, for he's only had 20 bucks left. And he flips our pocket 8. Exactly the kind of hand that we put him on the flop is one of these middling strength, kind of decent hands, but not the nuts. So all we need to do is just fade an 8 on the river. We do that, and we can ship the pot to us. So anyways, guys, I hope this video was helpful for you. It's just a short one I wanted to make, just illustrating this hand on how you play against a maniac at the table, especially when you have pocket aces. Basically, you just want to use their aggression against them. One of the biggest mistakes you can make versus a maniac at the poker tables is trying to bluff them. You just want to let them bluff into you, let them waste their money, and basically just call them down. That's all you need to do, especially when they're betting huge amounts like that. Like I said, when they're betting those huge amounts, you can literally take it to the bank. This is the kind of hand they have, so you don't really need to be afraid of anything. I mean, the guy had 2 outs. He didn't catch them, of course, and, you know, we're going to win the pot the vast majority of the time. But anyways, I want to know what you guys think, so let me know your thoughts in the comments below. How do you play your pocket aces against a maniac at the poker tables? Is this a situation that gives you trouble? What is your overall strategy in a spot like this? Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. As always, if you guys enjoy watching poker strategy videos like this, make sure you're subscribed to the channel because I'm putting out videos like this all the time to help you guys out. And also shove all in on that like button below as it helps me out. I appreciate it. And lastly, make sure you grab a copy of my free poker cheat sheet. It's called Massive Profit of the Micros. That'll be the top link in the description below. Once again, it's totally free. You can read it in an afternoon. It'll give you my complete strategy on how I smash small stakes games like this. And finally, I'll leave another poker video up here that I recently made that I think will help you guys out as well. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. This has been Nathan Williams with BlackRain79.com.